A 21-year-old intern collapsing on the floor of a Wall Street bank. A trillion-dollar economy built entirely on unpaid overtime. And a psychological operation designed to make you love your own exploitation. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how hustle culture was manufactured to suppress your wages, and why the influencer telling you to grind while they sleep is actually training you to be a compliant servant for a corporate machine that views your exhaustion as a profit margin. You are about to see how burnout became a badge of honor. Stop looking at the billionaire on the magazine cover. Look at the bags under your eyes in the mirror. Look at your phone at 9 p.m. on a Friday. Why are you answering that email? You aren't being paid for it. You do it because you feel a knot of anxiety in your stomach. You feel that if you stop moving, you are failing. You feel that rest is a sin. This guilt is not natural. It was engineered. You are trapped in a game where the goalposts keep moving. They told you if you worked hard, you would succeed. So you worked hard. Then they said you have to work smarter. So you did. Now they say you have to possess a founder's mentality while on an entry-level salary. The stakes here are not just your career. The stakes are your biology. The stress of this lifestyle is literally dissolving your cardiovascular system. You are trading your limited time on Earth for a job well done sticker, while the value of your labor is siphoned off to buy someone else a third home. You aren't building an empire. You are burning the only life you have to keep the lights on in someone else's building. To understand this mass delusion, we have to look at the economic engine. This wasn't a cultural accident. It was a strategic rebrand of labor relations. It happened in 3 steps. Step 1 is the setup, the Great Decoupling. Let's look at the hard data. From 1948 to 1973, productivity and wages rose together. If you made more stuff, you got paid more money. It was a fair trade. But around 1973, something snapped. Productivity kept shooting up. Technology made workers faster and more efficient. But wages? They flatlined. Adjusted for inflation, the average worker today barely earns more than they did 40 years ago. Corporations had a problem. They needed people to produce more than ever, but they didn't want to pay them more. How do you get someone to do double the work for the same money? You stop calling it work. You call it passion. Step 2 is the trick, the cult of the grind. This is where Silicon Valley weaponized the narrative. In the early 2000s, tech companies introduced a new ethos. Ping-pong tables in the office, free dinner if you stay late, sleeping bags under the desk. They blurred the line between your life and your job. They sold the idea that suffering was a prerequisite for success. We saw the rise of pornography of effort. Elon Musk tweeting, "Nobody ever changed the world on 40 hours a week." Jack Ma defending the 996 schedule 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. These billionaires convinced the working class that the lack of sleep was a status symbol. They turned exploitation into an aesthetic. If you were tired, it meant you were important. If you were burnt out, it meant you were dedicated. They successfully framed work-life balance as a lack of ambition. Step 3 is the proof. The result is a global health catastrophe. In 2019, the World Health Organization officially recognized burnout as an occupational phenomenon. But the most damning evidence comes from a study by the WHO and the International Labor Organization. They found that working 55 hours or more per week is associated with an estimated 35% higher risk of a stroke and a 17% higher risk of dying from ischemic heart disease. The study concluded that in a single year, long working hours led to 745,000 deaths from stroke and heart disease. That is the body count. Hustle culture isn't just annoying, it is lethal. We have created a system called Karoshi in Japan, or Gwarosa in Korea, death by overwork. And yet, the media narrative continues to celebrate the CEO who sleeps on the factory floor, ignoring the thousands of workers who collapse trying to keep up. So, who reaps the rewards of your sleepless nights? It is a simple wealth transfer. Every hour of unpaid overtime you work is a donation to the shareholders. When you hustle on a salary, you are effectively lowering your own hourly wage. You are devaluing yourself. The villains in this story, the corporate executives and the rise and grind influencers, have a safe exit. The executives have golden parachutes. If they burn out, they retire to a vineyard in Tuscany with $50 million. The influencers selling you the hustle courses make their money from selling the dream, not from doing the work. But you, the employee, when you burn out, when your health collapses, you don't get a parachute. You get a performance improvement plan. And then you get replaced. The system is designed to extract the maximum amount of energy from you during your prime years, and then discard you the moment your output drops. They privatize the profits of your hard work, and they socialize the cost of your mental breakdown. We are suffering from a collective case of Stockholm Syndrome. We have fallen in love with the chains that bind us. We post photos of our laptops at midnight with the caption, "Grind never stops," begging for approval from a system that does not care if we live or die. Success is not a number in a bank account that you are too busy to spend. Success is control over your own time. The most rebellious thing you can do in a culture that demands your total submission is to close your laptop at 5 p.m., go home, and do absolutely nothing. The question isn't, how much can you hustle? The question is, when you are on your deathbed, will you wish you had spent more time at the office?